The following presentation is a part of the National Heavy Boxing League's 10th season, celebrating 10 years of the premier level of heavy boxing in the Team Fortress 2 community, and a final send-off as the NHBL closes after its 10th season.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the National Heavy Boxing League. Tonight's wildcard matches are not two, but four matches tonight to decide who will go to the divisionals. And now for the pre-commentating show. Gentlemen's Fedora, Green Sparrow, Clayface, and James Baxter. We have four matches tonight. There's a lot of things that we have to cover tonight with the amount of great talent that we are going to see. But let's start with this first match with Private Strat versus Spotton. Now, I have not seen either of these people heavy box. They are both newcomers to the National Heavy Boxing League, but based on hearing their names so far, Spotton seems a little bit more mysterious, you know. Private Scrat seems a little bit more intimidating. So at least going by names first, I'm going to go with Private Scrat for this match. What do you think, James?
Well, I can't really judge by names. Of course, Private Scrat, he does sound intimidating, but I'm not really going to judge by names. I'm going to judge by who gets out there and shakes off their rookie jitters first. You know, whoever becomes more comfortable with that ring and gets more, you know, knowledgeable on this, in this environment and, you know, kind of shakes off them rookie jitters first is going to win it. That's all there is to it.
Clayface?
Well, personally myself, I love newcomers. I like to see more talent come into the NHBL. We have a lot of new talent in these four matches coming in, and exactly, you can't really judge, because as I said, anything can happen. But also, what I'm looking for is a guy that will just do the right thing. I want him to come in there, prove a message, and get to the next round with ease. That will have me on mind for forever in this whole tournament.
What are you looking at?
Indeed. Sparrow?
Well, you know, I heard you say Spotton does sound more, you know, sneaky, a little spooky even. But in my opinion, his name, the other guy's name, starts with Private. And Private always seems a bit more sneaky and, you know, a bit more higher level, you know, because he's on the rank of Private. But that's why I'm putting all my money on Spotton, because he doesn't have anything to hide behind.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our referee for the night. He has been a referee since Season 2 of the National Heavy Boxing League, and he is scheduled to referee the 4th Sasha Heavyweight Championship on June 27th. Give it up for the one and only Sir Commander Pancakes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our away fighter advantage. He is a newcomer to the National Heavy Boxing League, and he was never really in the military, but still is himself labeled Private. Give it up for Private Scrat. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our home fighter advantage. He registered back in November for Season 4. He has been known as a good boxer, as well as he is spot on with his hits. Give it up for the one and only Spotton. And now, ladies and gentlemen, is the portion of the show where we judge who will win this match based on their loadouts. I think it's pretty much shoe-in. You've got a guy with a hoodie, a beard, and a build hat. And then you compare that to Scrat over there, who just has an Ellis cap on. I think for looks, it's definitely Spotton. Baxter?
Well, I'm kind of to be a little biased here because I do not like that Ellis cap one bit. It has gotten me a lot of trouble in trading. And I would also like to point out something else. While he may call himself a private, Mr. Spot over here actually has a Bill's hat which dedicates his service in the military, completely showing up Mr. Private Scrat over there. So I think Spot's got it.
Clayface?
Ooh, man, tell you what, we've got two different kind of loadouts here. To me, Private Spotton looks like one of those, either building constructor, really bad trucker, one of those guys. That's what that cap, represents in my mind. But then again, you got Spotton here with a Bill's cap. Now, Bill's cap, as James Baxter said, is a military military beret, you could say. It's actually a very nice hat. I have one of myself, but I mean, if you got to go with loadouts, you have to give it the Spotton. But if you want to go who's tougher, I mean, of course, Spotton. He's been through war. I mean, look at the size of that beard. He's been through war, that man.
Indeed. Sparrow?
Oh, you see, I'm not the type of man to judge by someone's looks. And that's why I honestly think that your boy Private over there, I think, based on cosmetics, he's going to win. Because he doesn't need to show off to everybody what he's been in. He doesn't need to be the fanciest guy ever. He doesn't need to be a guy wearing a hoodie to an indoor boxing contest, which is roughly 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which means he's kind of sweating right now already. So, in my opinion, Private, he's prepared, he's ready, and he doesn't need to show off like Spot.
Indeed. And now we shall hand it down to the ranks. The Commander Pancakes for round one of this main fight.
I am very happy.
Am I unmuted? Yeah, okay, there we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I will be your referee for this evening. I would like to remind you of the rules. We will not be jumping. We will not be crouching. We will not be eating sandwiches in the middle of the fight. We will not be spitting. We will not be hitting each other in the crotch, as it hurts very much and lowers our expectancy to have children. And on the count of me jumping out of the ring with my rocket launcher, you may begin beating the shit out of each other.
Round one kicks off. Spotton, the first one to move. Equal first punches have been thrown. Blood smeared on the floor. Looks like it could go either way. Spotton wins round one. That was a very interesting round. It looked like they were both evenly in the same distance of each other. They both went in to try and punch each other at the same time, and it just ended up that Spotton managed to get that final blow on Scrat, which let him go down in flames. What do you think, Clayface?
Yep, that is right, man. I think Spotton did a great job that round. You could see what he was trying to do, trying to move inside, trying to counter on the outside, and of course he landed those lethal blows, those lethal right hands, and that just conked out Private Spotton.
Indeed. Sparrow?
Well, to me, through that fight, it showed me that this is going to be a fight of experience. Who knows the most mechanically and figuratively to see who can land in that one punch that'll just put the other on their feet. No.
Indeed. And now we should go back down to Sir Commander Pancakes to kick off round two.
Alright. A reminder. No jumping. No crouching. No eating your sandwiches in the middle of the fight. Don't jump out. Don't roll the dice. And most importantly, have fun. When I rocket jump out, feel free to punch each other.
Round two kicks off. Spotton is in the first punch. Looks like Scrat has not gotten a hit on him yet. Spotton is managing to get victorious in this. Spotton will advance to the divisionals to face Metro. And we saw Spotton go out, get the first punch, be the first one to attack, as well as he managed to come out on top. And now he will be going against Metro in nationals next week. Clayface, seeing that, do you think Spotton has great potential against Metro?
Yes, of course he does. I mean, as you said last night, Fedora, Metro has the only fighter to lose a round so far in the wildcard. But, however, when saying that, he is Metro, he's a Season 2 runner, he's a Season 2 conference final, he did make the Season 2 conference final, but nonetheless it should be a great fight. Seeing both of their wildcard matches was unbelievable. So, I mean, yeah, it should be a great fight nonetheless, and I hope I get to see that fight.
Indeed. Sparrow?
Well, you know, like I said before, it's gonna come down to experience in matches like these. They're gonna throw a punch at each other, then they're gonna get a punch thrown at them. And I think Metro has the upper hand, knowing he is more experienced. He knows what this arena feels like, and he knows more than what our boy Spotted does over there.
Indeed. And now we shall go on to our next match, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, I'm going to go down and interview the victorious fighter, Spotton. Mr. Spotton, if I could have a word with you.
Very well.
After that amazing match, Spotton, I'm victorious, and now you'll be advancing to the divisionals next week. How does it feel?
Well, I'll tell you this. It's an interesting experience. I just felt like, man, this guy felt like kick my ass. There are a bunch of people in the background that are cheering me on. I just staring at him. I don't judge my loadouts whatsoever. I swore in my lungs that like he was going to beat the shit out of me. It was interesting.
What was your strategy going into this fight? Like, what was your kind of mentality of knowing you were going against Private?
As you can see from like my punching on the like strings over here. Here I was like focusing on like timing my hit delays, like swinging like a little bit before I actually went in close. Cause like there's a small delay like in between melee attacks before it actually connects, like to make sure that the animation finishes first.
Now, with the next match you are going to be facing against Metro in the divisional next week, since you are a newcomer fighter, I'm sure you do not know this, but Metro has only lost to White Russian Bear, who was, as you see by the poster over there, he was the second champion of the National League. And Metro, he has only lost to Russian every season. Now, hearing that, do you think that you still have a good chance against Metro next week?
I don't... Not exactly. Actually, I cannot say for sure, but I have not seen him fighting in the ring, and it's like my first time ever like actually hearing about the National Boxing Heavyweight like league and stuff. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see if like, you know, I'm probably gonna get fucked up.
All right, thank you for your time, Mr. Spot.
Yes,
and now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our next fighter. First, we shall introduce our away fighter advantage.
Wait a second. I gotta like get my corpse out of the ring. It might interrupt people.
All right, and while he clears out his corpse, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our. He registered for the National Heavy Boxing League back in November, right when it first came out, and he has managed to earn his legs on land, his land legs, as well as his sea legs. Give it up for the one and only Boatsman. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our home fighter advantage. He is also a new fighter to the National Heavy Boxing League, and he has been known to be an extremely good heavy boxer on servers. Give it up for the one and only Leires. And once again, the portion where we comment on the loadouts. Now, you compare Bills to Chicken Hat, and you compare fists to Apaco gloves, as well as you compare exposing the shoulders epidermis to not exposing it. It looks like I'm going to have to go with the one and only Boatsman for this match. Baxter?
Well, it's kind of hard to say. I really do like that formal, all-up business, ready-to-go look that he's got on over there. But Leires over here has got that, that fun-loving attitude, that carefree unpredictability kind of loadout going on, which is also a very good quality to have if you're a heavy boxer. But when it comes down to it, I think I'm going to have to give the edge to this man right here.
Sparrow?
Well, you look at these men, you look at them in public, and honestly, if I saw the man on the right, I would think he's about to beat up my girlfriend. If I saw the man on the left, I think he'd be handing out free candy to little kids. So, honestly, this one is a toss-up for me, but I would be more afraid of the man on the left right there, Leires, over the Boatsman.
Clayface?
Well, I actually like the Bills hat. As I said before, I like the Bills hat. So I'm gonna give it to the Boatsman. This one, I think he's got a pretty high chance. I mean, they all got exact same equal chance when you see two newcomers. So yeah, I'm excited. I think both will have the advantage with loadout. However, you can't judge on loadouts. Cannot judge on loadouts. But looking at the fists, as I say, one's got the stock fists and one's got the poker fists. So it's quite different. So I don't know. I think the Apoco fist is actually better than the stock fist, but I don't know. We will see.
Indeed. And now we shall go down to Sir Commander Pancakes for round 1 of this fight.
Sorry, I was being a statue. Okay. I'm here to give you your reminders. Do not jump. Do not crouch. Do not eat your sandwich in the middle of the match. Do not exit the ring for any circumstance, and do not roll the dice. When I jump out of this arena, you may begin punching each other.
Round 1 begins.
No, they're
Punches
going at
being
it.
thrown.
That was...
And it looked like with a quick downer, Leires win the first round.
Just like I said, that carefree, unloving, coming in, punching attitude. Love it. Love it.
It looked like it was just a very quick round. I could not even hardly tell what was going on. They just straight out charged each other, kept hooking around and going punch, 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 and it turns out after all that commotion, Leires came out on top. Clayface, what did you see?
As I said, it doesn't matter to loadout. As I said, Boatsman may have a better loadout. However, the fifth advantage goes to Leires. And Leires, of course, has the Apoco fist, which I said is going to be a heavy advantage in this fight. And, he just took that first round like it was a slice of cake.
Indeed. Sparrow?
I saw that Leires had a strategy going in, and it was to confuse his opponent, and I think that really worked here. Boatsman didn't know what to do when he saw a large man just running straight at him, and so he panicked and wasn't able to finish him off before he got finished off himself.
Indeed. And now we shall hand it down to Sir Commander Pancakes for round 2.
Alright. Here are your reminders. Do not jump. Do not crouch, do not eat sandwiches, do not exit out of the ring for any circumstance, and do not roll the dice. More importantly, don't wreck him so hard. I mean, give him a chance, dude. Alright. As soon as I jump out of this ring, feel free to fight.
Round 2.
Alright,
Boatsman, first one to charge out. First punch thrown by Boatsman. The punches are going faster. Who will it be coming out? Leires will advance to the divisionals. Wow.
Unpredictability.
It came really close at the end of that match, though. It looked as if Boatsman may have had a chance to win another round, but Leires came in and said, no, you will not have any chance against me. What do you think, Baxter?
Well, that's what I was talking about, that unpredictability. He started, kind of circling around him. Boatsman was kind of confused. He didn't know what to do, where to go. I'm just I choking on my words. I'm so sorry. That's just the unpredictability I was talking about, man. I love it.
Clayface.
Well, of course, it was an unbelievable fight for him. He did put up an unbelievable fight, Leires, and as you can see, the poker fist, man, they are some serious OP gloves. I would not want to mess with that guy on a day-to-day basis.
Indeed. And now we shall go down to the sideline interview with the recent champ with the Green Sparrow.
Alright there, buddy, Leires. You took that match 2-0. How do you feel about taking that 2-0 instead of, losing that second match?
Your microphone's not working, Leires.
Thank you!
Might want to type it.
Try it one more time.
Nah.
Still not working. He said, thanks, it was good.
Alright, well, did you have a strategy coming into this match today?
He ran back to the room.
He's pretty shy.
He's a pretty shy man
He
for
doesn't want to
like.
reveal his secrets. He's
He's a pretty shy man for like an effective boxer. That's one man I fear.
Looks like Leires just did not want to talk. And now, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Clayface.
Sorry to interrupt, but who does Leires fight in the next round? Just out of curiosity.
Oh yes, Leires is set to go against Dwimmer Smek in the divisionals next week.
Yeah.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our second referee for the night. He is the new referee to the National Heavy Boxing League, but he certainly is not as NFL replacement referees were. Give it up for the one and only Lord Wooden Spoon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our away fighter advantage. He registered for the National Heavy Boxing League back in November. He's certainly on guard tonight and properly armored. Give it up for the one and only Armored Davidson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall introduce our home fighter advantage. He also registered for the National Heavy Boxing League back in and he is on a competitive Highlander team for UGC in Team Fortress 2. Give it up for the one and only Gong. Once again, we will comment on their loadouts. Now, you compare a Christmas hat to a puke green gibbous. I don't even know if I should comment on the rest of their uniforms. I'm going to go with Mr. Gong here. I think he's going to take it. Clayface?
Well, as I said, loadouts different, but Gong has the poker fist. Now, as I saw last fight, he saw the guy with the poker fist win, so I have to give it to Gong, even though I think Ahmed Davidson has a cooler jacket, but I have to give it to Gong, unfortunately.
Baxter?
Well, when you look at these... Sorry, my mic cut out. When you look at these loadouts, I think there's only one clear-cut winner, and that's that awesome, sexy, pink, puke green gibbous on top of that man's head. It's just lovely. I just want to grab it and just play with it all day. I just love the gibbous. I know it's weird to me, I know, but I love the gibbous. It's just such a hated hat, and I just love it for that. I love you, gibbous. I'm going with gibbous.
Sparrow?
Well, I'm gonna look at the red man over here. Gong. You know, he's just running a typical normal hat and a little pin. But you look over here, Ahmed Davidson, he has a pretty woolly jacket. That means he isn't going to throw a sweat in this match even with that jacket on. You know, he's prepared physically as well as mentally, and that's why he's able to have a gibbous and glasses on when I'm guessing he even has 20/20 vision.
Indeed. And now, we shall hand it down to our referee, Lord Wooden Spoon, for round 1.
Hello, hello. Just to get the rules out of the way. Remember, men, no jumping, no crouching, stay inside the ring, and no eating. Please refrain from RTDing or other vulgarous acts. Let's have a good, clean fight, and on the sound of the rocket, please begin.
Round 1. I'm a little bit anxious to start there. Punches being thrown all on his side. Gong! Round 1. If you notice, Gong a little bit jumpy before the referee wanted to kick off the match. He just ready to punch him and race the match over with. I think he may be late for a date or something. What do you think, Clayface?
Oh yeah, he looks good already. I saw him jump out of that corner like a gazelle being chased after a lion. But yeah, he looked like he was the one that was. He looked like the one that was most dominant because of that. Because of those poker fists, absolutely deadly. He's probably knocked out so many guys with those poker fists. It's unbelievable. He's yeah, he looked good. He threw the 1-2 combos coming in the side, came in with no fear.
Indeed, Sparrow.
Well, to me, that match looked more like a match where they were two guys just feeling each other up, seeing how that they dodge punches, how they roll through all the rotations, how they go through swinging their fists. And I feel that this matchup is going to come up with a different result this time, because I feel it just took your man in the blue to come up with like a small prediction of how this red man is going to go about throwing his punches. I think he just needed a quick warm-up.
Baxter.
Well, I love the type of fighter that Gong is. He's that one where, you know, some fighters, they wait for the 3 ticks and then they go. Sometimes they don't even move after the 3 ticks. He hears that 1 tick of the bell and he is gone. He's ready to fight. He's going. That's the kind of fighter that, you know, gives a lot of fighters such as, what's his name, Davidson over here, a lot of trouble. The ones that are just so rambunctious and ready to go, you just can't telegraph them in time. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed. And now we shall go down to Lord Wooden Spoon for round 2.
That was a good first fight. Let's keep it up. Remember, no crouching, no jumping, no awkward movements, no eating in the match. You'll have some victory pies later. On the side of the rocket, please begin.
Round 2 begins. No messing around here. It's all now or nothing. Gong gets a huge speed run, manages to win, and will go against the one and only White Russian Bear in the divisionals. That is going to be an intense match next week, ladies and gentlemen. Seeing Gong and how intense he has been today, you have him matched up against the first rookie to win the Sasha Heavyweight Championship. It's going to be a very bloody fight next week. What do you think, Clayface?
Oh yeah, White Russian Bear is a machine. He just flies and flies and flies, and he just kicks ass when he flies. And as I was saying right now, you got a guy like Gong, who's an absolute beast, as you see tonight. You got a guy who's an absolute beast tonight, really putting it out there and taking out Ahmed Davidson. I think White Russian Bear's gonna have a little bit of trouble on his hands.
Indeed. Sparrow?
Well, I'm looking at this man right here. I'm seeing a man who is ready and born to fight. But if you look back at Russian Bear, I just think that Russian Bear has too much on this man right here. He is one of the best fighters this league has ever seen, as well as one of the current champions, and he almost slept through one of his matches completely because he just said, I'm going to sleep through it because I don't need to be awake to beat you. And you know, that's the type of man who will just destroy his opponents.
Indeed. And now we shall go down to the sideline interview of the Miss Victor Gong with James Baxter.
Hey Fedora, I am down here live in the ring with the winner of this match, Gong. Gong, you just won this match and you are advancing to the divisionals next week. How do you feel right now?
You know, being the veteran of UGC, the 8-time plat champion, the stabby, I think I've got a good edge coming into this next fight. I'm certainly, you know, prepared for this. I've faced, you know, tons of good people, so I'm prepared.
Yes, exactly. Now, Mr. Fedora up there brought up your Highlander time, and you also just brought it up. Did that help you prepare for this match at all? Give you a confidence boost? Maybe help you skill-wise? Anything?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've gotten my fair share of practice. I've been playing competitive for like 12 years now, so I mean, I'm pretty good with competition. Should be good.
I see. Now, one more question before you go. Next week, you're going against a former champion of the NHBL, White Russian Bear. Now, does that have you worried at all? Any concerns, doubts?
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir, but Mr. White Russian Bear doesn't scare me, just because I don't think I've ever heard of him before, and I don't think he's going to be very good. I feel prepared to go at least 2-0 against him.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Gong predicting he's going to go 2-0 against White Russian Bear. He is not afraid at all. Let's head it out back to you in the studio, Fedora.
Thank you. And now we shall introduce the fighters for our final match of the night. First, we shall introduce our away fighter advantage. He is also a new fighter to the National Heavyweight Boxing League, and he is also going to be a doctor one day. Though his name says doctor, he's not actually one. Give it up for the one and only Dr. Sensei Hugo. And now, we shall introduce our home fighter advantage. He has fought in the National Heavy Boxing League since Season 1, as well as he is certainly on the crazy side of the Team Fortress 2 community. Give it up for the one and only Abe Hand One. A bit of a delayed entrance by Mr. Adan, but look at that! Another fight taking up and offering sportsmanship to their competitor. Another great example of sportsmanship in the National Heavy Boxing League. Now, once again, that little, if you did, ladies and gentlemen, if you did not just see that, Adan just offered a high five, and then he punch the guy. Well, looks like this is going to be a very intense match. And now, again on the loadouts. Compare Abe Hand with Elvis Hoodie. You compare it to a guy with day specs and the World Traveler's hat. I feel like Abe Hand is more coordinated. So at least loadout-wise, I'm going to go with Abe Hand this round. Baxter?
Okay, well, first thing, Abe Hand, punching a man after you offer a high five to him, uncool, bro. Second thing, when you look at loadouts, it's definitely...
He's got, that's Traveler's hat. Now, if he is a boxer, I believe he has traveled all around the world and boxed in all different countries and all different server pings and everything. So, I think he's been a bit of a traveler in his time. Looks like he's gone through lots of different countries. I can't say where, but looks like he's gone through quite a few countries. But on the other hand, you got Abe Hand. Now, he looks like a Elvis Presley, you could say, you know, and he's got that scarf wrapped around his neck that could come to a disadvantage. Could be strangling him, you never know. So I'm gonna have to give it to Dr. Sensei.
Sparrow.
Alright, well, first, you look at Sensei over there. If my eyes perceive me correctly, that is the World Traveler's hat with deuce specs, as well as the Heart of Giving. Now, that's a pretty humble man right there, because those items you would get by giving your money is hard-earned money from boxing and dedicated towards charities and fellow people who are in the need of money. So he's a pretty generous and modest man. Meanwhile, you see this man right over here in the blue. He's pretty fly for a white guy, but I mean, if you look at him, he's more of the guy who would catcall girls on the street. You know, he did the low blow right after the high five, and he just seems like one of those kids that you don't want to be around in school.
Indeed. And just a side note, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dr. Sensei Hugo is connecting all the way from Finland tonight. And he is the third person in the National Elite Boxing League to participate internationally, along with Clayface from Australia, and one of our fighters, Rabbit, who sadly lost, but was all the way from, I believe it was Norway. Am I correct, Clayface?
No, Ireland.
Oh yes, it was Ireland. Yes, yeah, it connected from Ireland. Now we shall hand it down to our referee, Lord Wooden Spoon, for round one.
Hello, we got some promising fighters here. Various wealth, but various purpose. Let's keep this a clean fight, no crouching, no jumping, no eating, and no RTD. On the sound of the rocket, please begin your fight.
Round one begins. Abe Hand, the first one to charge out. More hesitation coming from him. Does it look like Hugo is going to make his move here? Hugo wins round one! That was a very huge surprise to see by the one and only Hugo. I mean, you compare the loadouts, and it looked as if Hugo was a little bit unprepared. It looked like his loadout, at least, looks kind of noobish. But granted, he has just proved that even with his loadout that does look slightly noobish, he has proven that he is a good fighter. Clayface?
Yes, I believe I mentioned that he has the Traveler's hat. He has traveled the world. He's traveled the world, he looks like it, and he just proved it in that round. Now, however, if you would have told me in the first place that we had a guy from Finland fighting with 150 ping, then it makes things much more different. I mean, that round could have all been a bit of a lag spike for Sensei. I mean, his ping is not as bad as mine. I mean, I got a ping of 240, as you can see, but he's got a steady ping of 150, but that still is a disadvantage. As you saw with Rabbit, it's a disadvantage, and I think Sensei's gonna pull it off in the last round.
Baxter?
You know, you look at the underdog story not an underdog story, but the underdog win that just took place. Sensei Hugo over there proving you don't need to have a rich loadout to be a good boxer. I love that. I love watching them underdog stories. Gives you the feel good in your hearts. And you know what? I think Hugo could do it again. You know, based on what I just saw, he's actually a really good heavy boxer. You know, he's predicting where he's going. It's unbelievable. I could not have expected this.
Sparrow?
From Sensei, you know, I saw some pretty nice tactics going. I'm not gonna reveal them just for the viewers at home, and I can say that afterwards. But as I saw, his strategies were able to be paid off well in full because it was expected, and that was able to get a few shots
get
on
me
him.
out the ring.
But he was able to come back and, you know, just end the match right where he wanted it to, because he was able to fully predict where he was going.
Indeed. And now we shall go back down to the ring with our referee for round 2.
Good round, good round. Remember, no crouching, no jumping. Let's have a good clean fight. No sound of the rocket. Please begin.
Round 2 begins. Mr. Avan jumping in his corner there, a little bit anxious. Looks like Hugo is managing to get some good punches in there. Will Hugo manage to win this, or will Avan tie it up? Hugo will advance to face Snake in the divisionals. Wow! After seeing that, Avan has been in the National Heavy Boxing League ever since the first season. Again, we see that he has not been able to make it past the wild cards. That was a very interesting match to see, especially with a newcomer who did not even look professional. He came in and he knew he was ready to fight, and he has managed to come out on top and will face Snake next week in the divisionals. Clayface, what is your Sparrow, what is your reaction to all this?
Well, you know, I kind of saw this one coming, you know. He's very modest about himself. He's not going to reveal too much of his skill already. As you can see, he's a pretty strong fighter from this, and I honestly think he has enough potential to make it all the way and claim the 4th season as his.
Indeed. Baxter?
Mr. Fedora, there are no words to describe what I just saw. What I just saw would be the greatest underdog story I have ever seen in the National Heavy Boxing League. This man coming out with this pirate hat and a little achievement badge, comes out, wins, and he's going to the divisionals. I just love the underdog stories. I just love them so much.
And now we shall go down the sideline to interview our newest victor, Dr. Sensei Hugo, with Clayface.
G'day. Oh, thank you, Fedora. G'day, Sensei. I am just very curious about that win. That was unbelievable. You looked very dominant. Was there any problems with tonight's preparation?
I didn't hear you.
What did he say?
Go ahead, try again, Hugo.
He said he didn't hear.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Oh, alright. What was tonight's preparation? You know, you're coming in here, you know, did you have any practice or anything before this fight?
Thinking,
Why is it always with me that my sideline interviews always no one hears me? I don't get it.
It's a recurring thing. History tends to repeat itself. Sorry.
You know what? I'll just go straight back to Sensei again. Sensei, Snake is in the crowd tonight. Do you have any words to say for him, since he'll be your next fight in the next round?
No,
The
I
visuals?
don't have any words to say for him.
You see, my captain here is a very shy man.
That's it from me and Sensei. Back to you.